Finally, the Deem has come back to MMA Diagnosis Podcast, episode 55, ladies and gentlemen. So we are back with a brand new episode. So what are we going to
apologize for my camera?
That's fucking illegal.
Awful camera. It needs to upgrade, but we're gonna start somewhere. So new episode. You're back. How you feeling? How's the off season been?
Yeah, it's great, man. I needed the time off, but new place, new beginnings. What can you say?
New place, new beginning. Finally good to have a partner in crime. Been on my own for the last year or so, but yeah, we're doing it. We've done some big interviews since you've been off. Don't know if you've been paying attention, but
yeah.
Okay, so we got.
I watched a couple of them.
But we got a big fight coming on Sunday. Big for boxing. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. So we're going to talk a bit more about that today in this episode. What's your opinion on that?
You watched the press conference? I don't know if you watched it. It was a bit weird.
I didn't really watch it,
Yeah, I watched it. It's short anyway. It's not that long, but it wasn't like, because we know it's Showtime, innit? That basically doing the event, but it's so weird that the Conor McGregor fight, when Showtime were doing that, they did like a whole tour for the fight in it. But this one is just like the press conference just seemed a bit, how do you say, lackluster in it. And Floyd, we saw pictures of him. He looked like an old man.
Oh yeah, I was listening to Mike Swick on his podcast, right? Quick Swick, it's actually a good podcast. He was saying like, how can a millionaire look like a bum? How can you look like that? Like, you should take your hat off and you look like flawless, like you're that rich. But he looked like I think my uncle or someone was saying, I was talking to someone, they were saying to me like, he must be having a hair transplant or something. So,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It looks like it. It looks like he's having a hair transplant. I mean, if you're that rich, you might as well get one. It's not going to cost you that much.
But you know what I think? Obviously, there have been people talking about it, but firstly, I think it's a ruse as well. So, like, he looked a bit scruffy and all that. I think he did it on purpose, because we know Mayweather does a lot of things on purpose. Like, he does short notice. Yeah, he gives you like 6 weeks to prepare for his fight. Yeah. And Logan Paul even said to himself, like, basically, like, his management, Floyd, they were messing around with him, like, in terms of contracts, signing. And then out of nowhere, they get the 6 weeks notice. But obviously, he was training for it anyway, so that don't matter. But I'm thinking basically Floyd Mayweather did it on purpose. So he's gonna have a nice shave or a trim down, and he's gonna trim his hair and beard. And when it comes to a fight night, he's gonna look young again. Do you know what I mean? Just to fool the people, like make the odds, a bit in favor of Logan Paul in it, that he's old. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I find crazy. I was reading that Conor McGregor was a bigger underdog. Logan Paul against Mayweather, which is crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I read as well. Yeah, which is weird.
Not in a bad way. Like, I listened to somewhere else, and they were actually giving Logan Paul a chance of how he could win, and I was thinking, unless Mayweather has a heart attack or something in the middle of the match, I don't think there's any chance he could win. If you can't beat a guy like KSI, not in a bad way, but KSI is like,
okay, forget that. Let's play devil's advocate then, innit? We know he couldn't beat KSI, but he said it himself with True Geordie. It was on his podcast that he's trained, for the last 1.5 years, trained really hard. He was hesitant in the KSI fight. He couldn't pull the trigger. So maybe mentally he wasn't, he didn't have that aggressiveness that Jake Paul has in it. We'll come back to Jake Paul later about his fight. And basically Logan Paul says now that he's playing devil advocate. I don't want to go into, I'll let you go into it, but what do you think are the advantages of, Logan Paul, and how can he win?
Well, Logan Paul, obviously, he's the bigger guy, right? He's like 200 something pounds. He's tall as well, 6 foot plus. I mean, strength size is his main advantage. Other than that, I don't see any other advantage he has. Maybe power.
Well, the reach now, like
reach. Yeah, you could say reach, power. But I think with a guy like Mayweather, that's not going to really affect him. Like the guy's been boxing since he was born, and since he come out of the womb, he's been boxing. So that he's seen all that like bigger guys, and I'm sure he spot bigger guys and beat them up. So I don't think Logan Paul, even if he's training 1.5 years, is able to catch up with a craftsman like Floyd Mayweather.
He's training 3 years altogether since his first so-called fight. But training 3 years altogether.
Yeah, he's training 3 years altogether. But like I'm saying, he is the apparently Victor Ortiz, the boxer Victor Ortiz. He said that Logan Paul's a better boxer than Jake. Jake Paul's not as good as Logan Paul in technical. I would have to agree with him actually. Logan Paul's a lot more technical in my opinion. When you see him even hitting pads, the way he moves, things like that, he looks he's better than Jake in my opinion in actual technical boxing. Jake hasn't. Logan hasn't boxed as much though. Like he hasn't fought, but it is what it is. Floyd's too good, man. Like look, he's beaten guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, all the best fighters. He does pick certain times to win though. People say he's the greatest boxer of all time, which I think he's the greatest businessman in boxing of all time. Great strategist. I wouldn't say he's the greatest boxer of all time, like in my opinion. But in this generation, yeah, you could say he's the greatest boxer. But yeah, I think a big event, for boxing. Like I said,
I'll give you. I want to touch up on that because everybody says he's a great businessman. So why does he have to fight? I wouldn't say bums, but why did he have to fight like people out of their, prime or not even proper boxers? So why does he do that then?
I think he's come to a point where you could say he might be broke or whatever, but I don't think it's that. I think, guys like him, I don't think they have an identity without boxing. Like boxing's everything.
But do you think because a lot of people says he wastes his money and he blows his money in. So
yeah, it could be
that's why he takes it.
That we don't know, and it could be that. But I'm thinking it's more of the lines of because he has his TMT and he has his gym and he does like other, yeah,
because the things I know is like how like a lot of other boxers they have big brands behind them like Nike and Adidas and stuff. I don't think Mayweather has that.
I think he does. I think he has a boxing brand like Granton.
Yeah, but not like a big, like a Nike. And imagine if he had Nike or someone.
I'm sure he could get that, but I'm sure he chose not to. Probably,
I personally think it's because the way obviously he's outside, escapades in it.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, John Jones lost his Nike deal in it because of his antics outside of the cage. So, but Mayweather did that obviously to make money. If he didn't do the outside antics, it's like Colby Covington, right? Like if you look at Colby, no one gave a crap about him until he started doing MAGA and like, all that. He's actually great to listen to on a podcast. I was listening to him on MMA Roasted, and I
always listen to him. Yeah, it's funny. I always like listening to Colby Covington. Yeah,
it's crazy though. He seems like an alright guy actually behind the scenes, but I don't know if you saw like the Dean show on that. Like Eddie Restovich met him and asked him like, "Do you hate Muslims?" Yeah. He goes, "Nah, you don't hate Muslims." He's basically saying it's just an act. Like it's like
I think because you're right because obviously everybody knows that it's an act by now. It's definitely
he actually gets people believing he's like that, which is good.
And we pull back to Floyd Mayweather. I think that's a lot what he's done. He's made it into such an show that people think that Logan Paul actually has a chance. That's why I was just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, Logan Paul obviously size, power. Unless he I think the best strategy for him is clinch him and then just like try to fight, like just make it really dirty and just go for a swing. Like he's got a puncher's chance in it.
Yeah, so-called.
I think that's what
apparently uppercut will destroy Mayweather.
Who said that?
People are just saying it, uppercuts. Even True Jody goes, give him an uppercut. Apparently, he don't like Mayweather as well. So you don't have to like him to appreciate the boxing, obviously. So
I don't know. I think
Floyd Mayweather. What do you think of the predictions on the fight? How is it going to go?
I think Floyd Mayweather will finish him.
All right, let's mention that. For the UK fans, though, make mention UK fans for us. the fight actually on Monday morning. 4 a.m.
You can't watch it. You got work. If you're Monday to Friday, then you're not gonna be able to watch it.
No, but yeah. If you got work in the morning, yeah. I got night shifts, so it's all right. I can watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it, but I can't definitely not watch it. Yeah, I can't watch that. But I think
watching that live, even though it's a spectacle, but you just gotta watch it if you enjoy boxing and you enjoy a show that.
I tell you what though, they got people sucked in obviously work. I listen to podcasts sometimes, right? And then I listen to Mike Swick's podcast. So basically, I've just started listening to his podcast. So I listened to 5 in a row while I was on my shift. So just 5 of his episodes, and then every episode he mentions Jake Paul, how he doesn't like him, and then he mentions, I respect it and I like him. I was like, bro, which one is it, man? Do you like the guy or not? Because you hear people say, oh, this guy, he's ruining the sport, and then everyone's tuning in though. The same people.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the Paul brothers, but you gotta appreciate the business model and how they don't care about what other people think. So they've gotten far with that. So I appreciate the and I would say enthusiasm, but the belief in it, in themselves.
Yeah. But in your opinion, how do you see the fight going?
I see Floyd Mayweather destroying him. But even if he carries him like he carried Conor, man. I don't know what people say, but he carried Conor to the 9th or 10th round. If he wanted to, he could have destroyed Conor quicker. But because after 3 or 4 rounds, Conor gassed. Everybody saw it as well. Yeah. And I think this one, he'll carry him a bit. It depends on his mood. And if he feels like, taking him out, he'll finish him in about maybe 4th, 5th round, I think.
How many rounds? 8 rounds?
Yeah, it's 8 3-minute rounds.
I think he finishes in the 2nd or 3rd,
Yeah.
You could do any round if he wanted to, honestly. If he wants to finish him, he'll finish him whichever round. I think
obviously, we know how Floyd Mayweather fights, he likes to, download the data and, as they say, and
it won't take him long to download the data with Logan Paul. That won't take him that long. Honestly, I think Logan Paul should go in and just swing. That honestly, he's got nothing to lose. Rather just swing and go for a knockout.
I don't know which podcast it was. I think it was JRE in it. But they're talking about, his fight against Tenshin, Nasukawa.
Yeah.
In Japan. Apparently, the reason he left, he actually beat him up quick. Yeah, was because he wanted.
Was Tenshin trying to knock him out as well?
Yeah, and but apparently he wanted to leave to get back to USA for New Year's.
For New Year's, yeah, he batted him quickly. That's what I'm saying. He could do the same with Logan Paul, but he might just carry him and just make it more fun for everyone, just to make them.
So you think they're gonna do a full 8 rounds, or my prediction is gonna finish him?
No, I think he's gonna finish him. I think he's gonna finish him. He's gonna
carry him a couple of rounds and then maybe 4th or 5th.
Just hit him to the body or something, finish him off.
Yeah,
just tire him out.
That's the reason. That's the thing that people don't realize. You get hit in the body. It doesn't matter how big you are. You're gonna get winded. And you're gonna lose, obviously, your gas tank when you get hit in the body.
Yeah, that's a bit of muscle on him. Even in the KSI fight, Logan Paul was gassing out. So if he's gonna gas out with KSI, man, Mayweather's gonna just destroy you. Yeah, I don't care how much smaller he is. People are like, oh, he's so small, and dude, he's the best boxer of our generation. He's just gonna kill him. I don't know
why. That's
what
I was saying. The skill level. Yeah, so what he's 44, and the skill level is just huge, the difference. So that reach and so-called weight and height and youth and that, I don't think that's gonna make up for it, because he's nowhere near even a great amateur boxer. Forget the
that's what I mean, Olympian. So moving from that, let's talk about the other brother now, Jake Paul. So it's just been announced, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. I should say something funny. You're gonna laugh at me. I listened to MMA Roasted last week, so last week, right? When was this announced? Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday or day.
We're recording this on a Wednesday for people that. So
2nd of June.
Yeah, 2nd of June. So it was announced yesterday, right? Last week, I knew it was gonna happen because they were talking at MMA Roasted and Austin Vanderford. So they call him Mr. Van That.
Mr. Van That.
Yeah, he actually slipped it out. Like they go, what's Woodley doing? He goes, he's just he's gone to Miami to work with Cuban boxers and that. And they were like, why is he fighting Jake Paul? He just actually said he on that, like proper. Like,
What the hell, man?
like he actually slipped you out. And then I was laughing. I was like, it must be real then, because he's saying he's gone to Miami to train with Cuban boxers. He's not going to do that for no reason. So apparently Woodley's ready. He's getting ready for the fight. He's training in Miami. He's taking it serious. I don't think people realize the difference between Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley in striking. Like, people.
Do you know what the date of the fight is?
August the 28th.
August 20 something, isn't it?
Yeah, August 28th.
Yeah.
August 28th.
But let's give them a thingy, a preview of how it started, because the beef started when I think Tyron Woodley was in his locker room. Jake Paul.
Yeah. And
then basically,
came up to him and just started being disrespectful to him and things like that. So I don't know why he's being disrespectful to him. So like Woodley would have.
Obviously, they did it on purpose. Do you think it's all a ruse and they actually, in on it?
I don't know, because I had a friend tell me, I had people even tell me, Woodley's gonna lose, like he's gonna just lose for the money. I go, Woodley's not that type of person. I think it hurts his brand losing to Jake Paul. Like if I'm Tyron Woodley, I'll knock Jake Paul out, put it on YouTube, so my YouTube channel grows, and then build my reputation up there as well. As a guy who knocked out Jake Paul, like more people know me then as a guy knocked out Jake Paul. It builds my brand up. I make more money in the long run.
That's true as well. I don't. Apparently, he's getting about 1 million. I think.
Yeah, he's making good money. He's making.
I think it's 1 million because Bisping news. Bisping said on his podcast that he was offered the fight for about 500,000, but he didn't take it
against Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, Bisping would have bashed him.
Yeah, Bisping would have destroyed him. But I think they just sent out feelers to see which fighters are interested anyway. But Bisping don't need that money now anyway.
Bisping's, like people don't realize, innit? Like some of these podcasts, they make ridiculous money. And he's doing analyst roles and he's doing like all that. So
the UFC, so that he don't need that money. But back to Tyron Woodley. The beef started in the locker room. Jay Leon, one of his so-called coaches or yes men, he was saying that he's got, titles or something. I don't think he's won a title.
It probably has. I don't know. Probably,
I don't think he has.
There's like 3,000 belts in boxing, isn't it? He's probably won.
It could be, but nobody's heard of it anyway.
It could be like a national title or a specific title.
But not world title. I don't think
I don't know if he's won a world title. I'll have to check. I know he was okay boxer. He wasn't like the worst. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. He thinks he's like, he's
what Woodley's done in MMA. He hasn't done that in boxing. Let's just put it.
No way, because we would have heard. Somebody would have heard it.
MMA. I don't think people realize Woodley's got like ridiculous power and he's super fast. Like, do you remember his KO of Jay Hiron? When he knocked out Jay Hiron and like with the over, like people don't realize what he will do if he smacks Jake Paul. Like he's gonna put him to sleep. But I don't see Jake Paul being able to take his shots. I don't.
But I'm playing I'm playing devil advocate now. So Jake Paul, he's been training boxing now for last couple of years.
Yeah,
he's actually been training apparently properly, like intense, and actually serious about it. So do you think he's actual? Now we're going pure boxing now. Woodley can't use wrestling. He can't use, Do you think his boxing skills are up to the task though?
Yeah. I like if you see him, like, you know what it is. I think we're missing the fact that Ben Askren can't even hit pads. Okay, we just got interrupted, but we're getting back into it. So basically, I don't think people realize the fact that Ben Askren, he's like awful on pads. Like he's like some people are good on pads, and their boxing is not that good, but they can throw a combo. Like he's awful on pads, so he's not the most amazing fighter in striking, right? Boxing. Woodley is like fast, explosive. Like he actually knows how to slip his head and move and throw a proper jab, and he's got a power shot on him, like a KO.
So
power.
we basically think his boxing skills are better.
A lot better.
He's been fighting for years.
Yeah. Like he would have done the same to Askren if they boxed.
Yeah,
like he could throw. You know what I mean? Like, but Jake Paul can't come with that overhand, and with that, Woodley will slip it, I think, or move back, or You know,
how would it translate though? Because obviously boxing gloves are bigger. They're not as small as UFC gloves are like 4-ounce gloves.
but that guy still hits hard though, innit? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what gloves he's wearing. He looks like he'll just smack you, and it hurts. And I'm sure Woodley's, Woodley, what people don't realize, he's been sparring for the last 10, 15 years. He's done boxing, sparring, and like things like that. Like it's not just like I know it's one aspect of MMA, but he's all right striking. Like I get it. Or he can't do the takedown setup. He can't.
And plus, I think he'll pick it. He should be able to pick it up quick anyway. The boxing.
Yeah. And plus he's taking serious training in
yeah.
Miami with Cuban boxers.
Yeah, definitely.
He's more than ready, man. Like I saw a tweet, right? So Woodley put his tweet out about Jake Paul, and then Keith, Keith Peterson, the referee.
Yeah.
He commented on it. He goes that I'm going to be the ref for the fight. I don't know if he's joking, is it? And then he goes, if you do a takedown, I'll look the other way, and you can take him down and beat him. And imagine that, like Keith Peterson. He's actually a troll, on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, I love reading his tweets.
But
is it full 12 rounds? I don't even know actually. To be honest, there's no information about that, is it? About how many rounds?
I haven't really really prepped for this, but
but I'm just saying anyway. I haven't read anything about that. All I know is the date of the fight and they're fighting. So they might not have given the information yet anyway.
Yeah,
it's about 3-4 months away. So
yeah. So like, since we're just chatting now, what have you been doing on your time off? What have you been doing? I'm very curious. The listeners are very curious. Where have you been?
Basically, I gave you my laptop, so I had to buy another laptop. Yeah, that's why my camera shit. Well, not because of that, but I need to get a camera like yours in it, so I could look fresh, crisp on the screen. But just spending my money on it, like I shouldn't.
Just spending it.
New place, new beginnings. I've got a nice garden and everything, but the thing is, I think we should record one of the podcasts in the garden.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it'd be good.
In the summer. No, in the summer. So hot day. Hopefully, it won't be that bad. The wind.
Yeah, I mean,
just working and trying to make peas in it.
Yeah, I mean, we're now 50. This is 55th episode, so we're like 55 episodes in. We should have been over 100 by now, I think, if we didn't have layoffs. But we're like seasonal. Like we go in training camp and then we have a break after.
Now we got an easy setup now, innit? Before the setup was stupid that we're doing. Really, but I still think it was good because our Canon camera was clear. If you look at 50, episode 14 or 15, you can see the camera's quality even better than the one you're using. So
I'm using a webcam.
So we started using a proper camera. Yeah, we should have bought a webcam to about it, like the Logitech. We could have got about two.
This is the best on the market, people. So like this webcam is expensive.
But hopefully in the future, if we get to any conferences in the UK, press conferences and stuff like that, we can use the Canon for mobility in it.
We're gonna need a mic. I need to buy a mic, Rode one.
Maybe. That's okay. Any news on the MMA front? Because we know the UFC's next week.
Big news. Diego Sanchez, he parted ways with Joshua Fabia. Thank God. Have you seen the video? Joshua Fabia punching him in the head while he's upside down.
No, I haven't watched that.
Kicking him in the head.
Yeah. Well, he's upside down.
He's basically hanging upside down. He's hanging upside down on like a pole or whatever in it, like in the air. So his head's like here, where my head is, and Fabian's like down, pop. And he goes, he does it 15 minutes a day to him, so he can get used to getting hit. Other the guys been fighting like all his, and he's like kicking him in the head, like head kicking him, and like, but
what the hell, man? No wonder he's gone mad.
Yeah, but basically, he parted ways now. I think he finally came to his senses. I think he finally got out of the nightmare. And he's now finally reached the dream. But I'm gonna put that clip up while we're talking. That clip up because it's.
I don't think you need to tell people we can do it.
Yeah. But
yeah, but I don't think people realize the traumatic brain injury. Yeah, that's what footballers get, like, you know, the
CT
CT and that as well, just by heading the ball. So imagine getting punched or kicked in the head 15 minutes a day.
I know. I mean, but like, it's good that it's parted ways though. Like, I find it, I find it crazy that a fighter got like fooled like by someone like that. Like, it's like proper competition. I don't know how people get.
I think, you know what? I think he got fooled because remember Diego goes that he was an alcoholic for a long time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, in the behind the scenes and that.
Yeah.
Do you watch that? Do you see that emotional clip that he put out?
No.
He did a podcast with someone and he's talking about how UFC didn't have his back and started crying and stuff like that.
Was that the Mike Swick one? Because apparently Mike Swick goes that he did a podcast with them, and then he was with Diego, right? And then Joshua Fabia came on the show, like.
No, this is different. He was all alone.
Okay. But let me finish on it. But basically, Joshua Fabia came on the show, and he literally spoke for 50 minutes, and Mike Swick didn't even interrupt him. Like, he didn't even have a chance to say anything. Like 50 minutes. Imagine like making 50 minutes on a podcast, and like the host can't even talk. So
that's how you know he was basically ruining his life, and really.
Yeah, do you see that incident?
He was just taking over everything he did in that, so he wouldn't even let him speak.
Right, do you see that incident with what's his name?
Ali Dana White's had a thingy. There's a new video of it. I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it later.
What?
Might put it up a bit if you can. Don't get copyright.
Dana White had what?
Well, a rant about Joshua Fabia. I don't know if it's new. I think he is a new one, but he that's good. He got it out though, man.
Yeah, man.
We still remember about the stabbing thingy, the one where he had a knife and running around the octagon. Remember?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he goes, think he has a knife for that. He's running around. Bro, all of them were scared, you know. The fighters were moving around the group.
I'm telling you, man, like
Privy agility.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, there was another big news. I can't remember now. Yeah, I can't remember now. But I don't know what's going on with Nick. I thought he's coming back, but
nah, he's not. I don't think he is, man. Because think about it, he's had enough time to, sort of fight out with Dana and stuff. So, and I'm sure Dana said in one of the press conferences, because I watched them in it after one of the UFCs, and he's saying like Nick Diaz hasn't, he just talked with them, but he hasn't, set up any fight. So,
yeah, I mean,
who's he gonna fight anyway? He's not gonna fight. Wasn't he supposed to fight Hamza Chimaev?
He was basically saying Hamza Chimaev is not big enough name for him.
Yeah. Basically, I think they were trying to give him Hamza, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a perfect fight for Hamza, but for Nick Diaz, I would have wanted him to fight Hamza.
I think he'd lose. He's been out of him for too long.
I've seen that live. Hamza did with Darren Till.
Yeah.
He pulled a knife out.
I know, he pulled the knife out. Oh my god.
Yes, brother.
Because I was listening to Darren Till was talking about it when on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's crazy, man.
Bro, Darren Till is weird, bro.
I ran to funny, man. Is that funny?
Watch him on Bisming podcast. He talks about so what are you doing? Watching men,
No. Listening to, what's funny? I'm listening to that today. Yeah, fucking looking at it, man. Yeah. Bisming,
dude. McDonald's.
Yeah, fucking go for Machis. Yeah, but Darren Till, he goes, he wants to fight Derek Brunson, so I mean that's a good fight. He's solid fighter.
There is one thing I'd like to talk about. I know it's not a big thingy topic because everybody knows about fighter pay, innit? What's his name? Corey Anderson.
Yeah.
Only in because we watch so many podcasts. Yeah. Sometimes you can't remember, but I think it was the latest, one of the latest JREs with Volkanovski. I think yesterday I was listening to. He goes that Corey Anderson, Volkanovski and Craig Jones.
Okay, I didn't listen to that one. I need to listen to that one.
Yeah, so basically, I think in that one, because Corey Anderson, apparently he made, in Bellator, in the two of his fights, he's made more money in those two fights than the whole of his UFC career.
Yeah, that's mad. Do you know why, though? Apparently, sponsorships. I listened to the Weighing In podcast. I was listening to Josh Thompson, right? And Josh Thompson goes, he was making like over 100K just on sponsors.
Wow.
Over 100 grand just on sponsors. And
I think Bellator obviously pay better.
Yeah, and you can get them sponsors back, and they're on
the big fighters, obviously.
They're on Showtime Sports now, and in the UK they're on BBC iPlayer. So if you're a UK fighter and you want sponsor, you're like, look, I'm on a BBC iPlayer, and your brand's gonna be on my thing. Like, it's a big thing, isn't it? BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, and BBC is a big for people to know.
And it's accessible for working class people that can't afford like Sky Sports and things like that. Because Bellator was on Sky Sports before.
And ESPN, people can't afford that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a good move going on BBC iPlayer because anyone could just watch the fights.
Yeah, and Bellator doesn't get bigger like that in the UK because of that.
Yeah. And do you know what else they're doing? Bellator. You know the UK guys?
Yeah.
So basically, the last card, obviously Fabian Edwards fought, Alfie Davis fought, or a few British people fought, right? So
yeah, he lost to thingy, Mr. Van Zandt.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. It's just wrestling, man. I felt like he just wasn't urgent enough on the ground. Like he wasn't like I can't say anything. I'm not a fighter, so like what am I to say really? But it was just the rest. He stuffed quite a few takedowns, to be fair. So it's
maybe his jits. You think his jits is up to task?
It's not about the jits, man. You know what it is? It's just about getting up. Like it was not. It
wasn't like. But I mean, if you're like dangerous off your back, then it's obviously it gives a
But how many guys are like that though? Like most people now, they've got a very good top game. So just staying on your back now generally makes you lose the fight in MMA now. Like the rules are different now. It's not like UFC 1 and 2 where you got unlimited time, like to work. Something. Like, generally, like who's really good at getting up like that? Cody Garbrandt. Like when he gets taken down, he gets up like so quick.
Yeah, like, that's what I like about him.
Yeah. So like, what were we saying? Yeah. So the UK people, like what they've done now is they put their fights earlier. So basically, they start the card now like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. on Bellator. So basically, all the UK fighters come on like just before like 1 a.m.
Oh, right, yeah.
The Fabian fought like 1 a.m. Yeah, talking about that card, I got media credentials for that card with Bellator, and I've got media credentials for the PFL. So I had a chance to speak to Saad Awad, Palestinian MMA fighter. Got a wicked KO. That guy's KO. He knocked out Nate Andrews, I think. Nate Andrews is a tough guy. Nate Andrews, he fought in PFL before, and he beat Rashid Magomedov. So Rashid Magomedov. He used to fight in UFC. Very good striker. He beat him. So he beat a legitimate guy. He knocked him out. Basically, stopped it himself. Like he knocked it. Like he punched him. Like I think he dropped him like 3 times, and then he told the ref, like, "Look, stop it."
Yeah, he told the ref.
So it was a big win for Palestine as well. So big victory. Bellator, that I've been getting media credentials while you've been off. We need to get you.
I know.
Let me say, today, funny story. So basically, our cat name was my brother's name, right? Nadeem. And I've been doing all the shows. So I'm in PFL, right? And then I'm just waiting for my name to be called out. So they're doing online press conferences, right? Media, because I've got media credentials. So I'm waiting, and then they're like, Nadeem. I was like, I didn't know what they're saying. It sounded like your name. Then they go, Nadeem. I'm like, what the freak, bro? I'm like, this guy, he doesn't come on. He gets all the credit, like on the show.
Famous.
He gets all the credit. His name gets called out. Yeah, so I had to change the Zoom name, and then now they're saying Hamad. They actually, you know what's crazy? They actually pronounce my name right. Americans pronounce my name right for some reason. I don't know why. They like Ahmad. They like Hamad. They say it properly. Like even on the Bellator and the PFL, they actually pronounce my name correctly. I think in the UK, and that, so it's a bit, it's a bit weird.
All right, so we've done our news now, basically. Let's get back to the Brave, CF 51 card, and Minsk Belarus June the 4th. So
Friday, June the 4th, Minsk Belarus. I mean, we got some all right fights there. So I've interviewed one of the fighters, Sam Patterson. He's fighting Elias Dijeroun, who's actually a really good fighter. So Sam Patterson, people don't know, he's on Team Crossface. So he trains with Sean No Pain Hussein. He trains under UFC veteran David Lee. He also trains with a Bellator fighter, Charlie Leary. So, and there's a lot of other fighters that I haven't mentioned, but I done an interview with him in my last episode, so episode 54. If you want to check that out, we talked about like a lot of topics. I think he actually went down Birmingham to train as well. He went to Fearless to train. I think Ambi Banga invited him, who's Leonardo's wrestling coach, and he's a wrestling coach for a lot of UFC and Bellator guys now. So it's crazy, you know, Birmingham. Like Fearless and Team Renegade, like it's becoming like a hub for all the UK fighters now to come down and
it's a great hotbed for a lot of UK mixed martial artists
to cross train. So Sam Patterson, man. I mean, he's 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. So he's going to be really good on the card.
Check out his interview on our
on our channel. I mean, we got an audio as well. We're also on audio. So if you don't like video podcasts and you like audio, which a lot of hardcore podcasters do listen to audio like myself. We're on SoundCloud. We're recently on Amazon Music. We're on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and every other audio. Basically, you need all of them. We're on. So MMA Diagnosis, check us out. Because obviously, ideally, we want to build up our audio audience and also our YouTube. So we're going to bring more podcast episodes. We're going to do more other content. So is there anything else you want to share? Or?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the MMA organizations for actually doing like online media credentials. So it actually helps us to build that brand up. And in the future, hopefully we can actually go to the events and get more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, we're hoping like obviously in the future we get sponsorship, we get affiliates, we get money that we can use it to do travel and media work, buy better equipment, do more.
Because obviously people know we're not making we're not making no money.
We're making no money,
you're not making a tomato slice for a burger. So.
This is basically a charity, right? But
it's like we're doing what we love in it. So at least if we get like in the future some sponsorship money and affiliates and stuff like that, that we can actually build the brand up and actually make it at least enough money to at the beginning to actually fund for itself, at least like for the equipment and stuff. It does cost a lot of money. People don't realize, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like people don't realize that even like doing scheduling fighters and things, it takes up a lot of time, and it's really time consuming. Like it's like another job, man. Like just scheduling and emailing back and forth, and then I think the worst is when you have to go through a manager and things like that. So it's even longer. So man. Obviously, people's support it'll be good, and we want to build that audience up. So please like comment on the video, like it, interact. We want interaction as well on that.
Yeah, subscribe, and we'll actually try to we should start doing like a Instagram where we ask the day before our podcast any people want to do questions for us, even just for the events and that, and we can
so next week we're gonna do a UFC 263 breakdown, so I think we'll start off with that episode. I mean, any final thoughts? I mean, you haven't been here in a while. Anything you want to say?
I want to say get ready for weekly episodes, regular. We're definitely going to put it on the audio straight away as well on the same day as the video comes out. So we don't want to delay now. Get it up on there regularly, and
I mean, I've been putting out interviews mainly, and we haven't done an episode like this in like ages. I can't remember the last time we've done one like this. So I think when was the last time? Do you remember?
Ages ago, man.
Yeah, it's been like ages. So we're gonna start. I'm on it. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna cut down with the interviews, fighters, and we're just gonna do more of these kind of episodes because I feel like I like talking about actual news and different aspects.
Breakdowns and
yeah. So
so like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll end it on here. Check out SoundCloud and Stitcher and Spotify, all the audio channels, and become one of the hardcore listeners, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we might start Patreon soon, so and stuff like that, so we can donate and support us as well. Just to let you know, we're going to start, and we might even start doing other content. Our channel's not just audio; we're just a podcast, but on our YouTube, we're going to have different content and
coming soon.
Coming soon. All right. I'll see you.
Peace out.
Peace.